Hi, welcome to ArtC. I'm your host, Bill Horin. My guest today is Sharon Leonard Kiefer. Sharon has been the executive director of Gallery 50 for the last 20 years, and for the last year she has been a member of the ArtC family as our executive director and the executive director of Strobe. Sharon, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start a little bit with Gallery 50 and what's been happening with that. Like everyone in the world right now, we've all had to make adjustments, and you seem to be doing that pretty well. What are some of the adjustments you've had to make at Gallery 50, and what are you still doing?
Gallery 50 has actually been closed since March 14th. I've been the only one in there since then, and it was in the middle of our March show. So what I did for the rest of March was just film a little walkthrough tour and put it on Facebook and Instagram for the March artists so they can at least have their last 2 weeks of visibility with the public. What I'm doing for April and May is I have artists in there, and I recorded a virtual tour for them in lieu of our First Friday opening reception that was supposed to take place April 3rd. We did the virtual tour online, on Facebook, on Instagram, and I rescheduled May 1st to be their opening reception, live with people like usual. And we'll see if we're still quarantined by then. That'll have to be another virtual tour.
You were telling me that in order to get ready for this last show, you did some special preparations as you would for a pandemic. Can you describe what you had to do?
Our drop-off and pickup day for the artists was Saturday, March 28th. So it was just around the time when, people were self-quarantining and whatnot. And I wanted to make sure that everybody felt safe picking up their artwork from the March show and dropping off their artwork for the April and May show. So what I did was I was the only one in the gallery. I told the board members and all of our volunteers that usually help that they were just to stay home. And I alone went to the gallery, had the door propped open. I had a mask on, I had gloves on, and I didn't allow any of the artists inside the gallery. I met them on the sidewalk with the artwork that they were taking home, and then I met the new artists coming in on the sidewalk outside with their new artwork, and I took it out of their hands and walked it into the gallery myself. And then after it was all checked in, I just let the artwork sit in the gallery alone for 3 days in case there was any kind of germs or whatever. And then I hung the show 3 days later with gloves on. And again, I was the only one in the gallery, and lots of hand washing. And I just wanted everybody to know that I didn't have a group of artists, picking up and dropping off when I'm claiming to be closed since March 14th, that I really, really tried to exercise all of the safety precautions here for all the artists' sake, my sake, and the gallery in general.
If this continues, do you think that's something you'll be able to do again, or you think that was a one-time thing? Since the gallery technically is closed, will artists still be able to drop off work for other things?
I'm planning on it. It was a lot of extra work, but in a good way. And so far, my May artists canceled. So my April artists agreed to stay the second month, and I rescheduled the May artists in July and combined her with our international miniature show that's already booked for July. We are booked, till through 2022. So I really can't just bump everybody up a month. We're on a monthly rotation with the art. So, it's rigorous on a good day. And now with this problem, I'm just trying to keep normalcy, the normal drop off and pickup days, and just exercising these extra precautions during that time.
One of the shows you're curating for Strobe is called Fragile Beauty. It's a powerful work by powerful artists, and you've had to reschedule that. Was it difficult to reschedule, and how many artists are involved in that show?
6 artists involved in the show. I curated it using our Strobe signature artists, and it's going to take place at the Salem Art Bank. It was supposed to happen April 10th. I contacted the Salem Art Bank, of course, first, and they know the situation. They're going through the same thing we are, and they were very happy to talk to me about new dates, which we came up with July. We're going to drop off July 20th, have the opening, or June 20th, have the opening July 10th, and pick up July 18th. Then I contacted my 6 artists, and they were more than happy to accept a new date. They thought it was going to be canceled. And that's one thing I want to stress to my artists. For Gallery 50, for Strobe, anything that we're doing, we're not canceling. We're trying our hardest to postpone, because we understand, some artists have worked a year or two on the work that's supposed to be in the shows. And you can't very well just like cancel them flat out. That's not going to help anybody's situation now. It's already hard enough for the artists with the situation we're in. So rest assured, we are going to do everything in our power to postpone. And the Salem Art Bank was very, very, open to this. All of the artists got back to me the same day. It was amazing. And everybody's super happy to do it.
As a mother, I mean, how's your daily life changed with things right now?
My daily life is always crazy. I just want you to know that right up front. And I love having my girls home. I have 3 home. My other daughter has a baby and she lives about a mile away. And the girls at home, one is in college, so she's of course home, and the other 2, one is in high school, one is in middle school. So we have, just set up as a homeschooling atmosphere. They get up in the morning, they have their schedule, everybody's online. And my college-age daughter actually goes to college in California, and she does Zooms with her professors. And the hardest part for her is her class starts at 10 p.m. Pacific time, or our time. She's, working till 1 in the morning on a Zoom. But other than that, our schedule's the same. I run the farm the exact same way. We've been getting out in nature and just like taking walks on the farm every day. What I've been really hustling to do is my gallery work.
The most important question I have for you is, how difficult is it to ship asparagus soup?
Hey, my asparagus is just ready to come up, Bill, and you got the first batch.
I really could use some good asparagus soup.
I was so happy that you liked it.
I'm getting a little tired of my own cooking right now. I'm a good cook, but I could use a change of pace. We've discussed a lot of things lately about Strobe and ArtC and what our role is and how we can help our artists. What would you think are some of the best ways we can help our artists right now?
With ArtC and Strobe in particular, your show, continuing your program is so beneficial. I mean, just to stay connected with everyone on Facebook is so important, because people feel isolated, people feel sad. I've heard artists say they can't even get into the groove of doing artwork right now. They're just scared. They feel pressured. And I think just having like another, with your show and another platform, and they go on and they see gallery owners and other artists that you've interviewed talking about it. They don't feel alone. They feel like they have ideas. I've seen such creativity coming from the artists on Facebook. I can't believe it. We are exchanging creative ideas, even if you don't know you are. You're watching different techniques that different artists are using. I've seen selling on websites. I've seen virtual tours. I've seen paint reveals. I've seen art auctions, private studio tours. I mean, all these creative things. Everybody's really kicking it into high gear to promote themselves. And these give ideas. This perpetuates, like ideas for everyone. And you see what's going on. Then you see somebody else doing it and you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. I can do this. I created our virtual tour for Gallery 50 on iMovie. I've never used iMovie before. And now I can use iMovie, and you and I are talking on Zoom. I've never done a Zoom before. And we're learning new things, even though we don't think we are. And I just love the creative exchange with artists that's going on. I see something new every day on Facebook. And I'm thanking all the artists for putting their ideas out there, because it's really a lot of fun to see.
And I have to say, I do appreciate a lot of artists have been reaching out to me lately, and they've seen the show or they've seen other things that you and I have done, and they want to be a part of it and they want to participate, and they're giving great feedback, and they understand that, you know, things, obviously we're not in a normal situation right now, and anything that can be contributed to helping artists and helping arts organizations is really appreciated. And I've seen a lot of people step up to the plate. And I think that's one of the reasons I want to do this show, is to shine a light, as we do, on people who are doing such a great job. And a lot of them are doing it for free. They're doing it out of their own pocket, out of their own time. I look at what John Gowdy and Laura Gowdy, for example, did with that sand sculpture.
That was a great interview. That was really a cool piece.
The response they got on social media to that was just phenomenal. So that's part of what our job is as Strobe ArtC, is to encourage artists, to encourage, you know, and shine a light on what's happening. And I think we're both doing that. And seeing what you did with a virtual tour, considering, you know, I sometimes don't give you enough credit, but that virtual tour was really well done.
Oh, thank you.
And I think that's what we need to see. It's no longer going to be just enough to do a virtual tour, but to do them so people want to watch.
And you know, now that I know how to do it, I'm just going to keep going with that, even when this all ends. I'm just going to give the artists, you know, like another form of advertising online. It was a lot of fun. And I think the artists enjoyed seeing their work on a movie. You know, I think they really enjoyed the virtual stuff.
And I do think it should be part of the equation. And as we know, the in-person experience that we're all looking forward to getting again is so important. Being able to see the texture of the paint and meet the artist in person. Since we can't do that right now, we're finding other options to keep it going. So I really do appreciate everything you are doing right now with Gallery 50 and with ArtC and Strobe.
Thank you so much for having me, Bill, and for promoting Gallery 50 and ArtC and Strobe, and just to give the artists the assurance that we are still working for them and with them, and things may be postponed, but that doesn't mean they're going to be canceled. And we will come out of this, and we will, you know, still have our great shows, and everything will be business as normal, I hope, very soon, if everybody follows the quarantine rules.
And on that note, we're going to wrap it up. This has been ArtC. I'm Bill Horin. Thanks for watching.